Hefting is ewes that will keep themselves in a certain part of a hill. They've been hefted there originally. Shepherds would go out and turn the ewes in to the one area they wanted to keep them in, and then eventually the sheep would heft themselves. After they produced a lamb, the lamb would heft itself on, and then its offspring would heft themselves there. We're quite lucky that the sheep are hefted now, and it makes management a lot easier.
Hefting is a land management system where we work with the highly developed natural homing instinct of the sheep, and that allows us to graze sheep extensively over the hills without the aid of man-made boundaries. So here we graze about 1 ewe to 2 acres, but they spread themselves naturally over that area. They all have their own part of the hill. They're all raised by their mothers on that part of the hill, and so they come back to that part of the hill. And it's that strong instinct, that strong homing instinct, that singles out hefting as a system.
It's also that it's a management tool for the grazing. That they just become grazers of that area and keep the vegetation right, and they just look after their patch. And if we can look after them, they look after that patch and look after us.
A shepherd has intuition, he has instinct. It's something that's very difficult to teach. You learn it on the job, it's possibly bred into you. It's knowing where your sheep will be, what type of weather, if it's windy and wet, where your sheep will be, if it's snowy, where your sheep will be, when to go to the hill, when not to go to the hill, what to do on a certain day on the hill, how the sheep will run off a hill, where the sheep will gather to. It's a huge amount of things a shepherd knows that there's no college in the country today actually teaches you that. And there's very few people out there with that skill left.
Now leave it! Now leave it!
What we've bred into is really more than anything. My grandfather's done it, so I've done it, and my dad's done it, and now my brother's doing it. And then school never bothered with me, so I never bothered with them. And I'm dyslexic as well, so I've sort of just done it and got on with it. Every day's different, you never get the same day twice. Plus, I like working with my dogs, so it sort of drives me a bit further forward. Right, well, you get the odd bad day, but you learn past it and do a different one.
The sheep are out there grazing, they're maintaining the flock, they're keeping the hills open. If we let sheep and cattle off these hills, the vegetation will become rank, bracken will take over, briars will take over, and it'll be more difficult to actually get out onto the hill. The landscape you see today is actually man-made. It's created by us, and it's up to us now to manage it.
They look reasonably fit, don't they? Sheep are doing a far greater job than just producing a highly natural meat product. They're actually looking after the landscape as well, and they're looking after the huge range of flora. Furthermore, they're doing an amazing job at actually keeping people in these remote hills. And without the sheep, the services and the suppliers who come up and down these roads wouldn't be there anymore.
If the climate dictated to it, there probably should be some sort of national policy to re-heft, or at least try and stop just now the flocks going off these hills, because it'll be extremely expensive and very difficult to re-heft a lot of places. And food security is becoming more of an issue, and will become more of an issue as population grows. And especially in this country, you know, our population is growing all the time, and these people require to be fed. And these hills can play a part in that.
You've seen today some of just how highly tuned the skills are to be able to do the work. Not just the man, but the man in his relationship with his dog and their understanding of how sheep move about. That won't be there forever, not unless we nurture it. Why do I like it? Because it just seems the obvious way to look after these hills.